May isang babae na miyembro ng church ang lumapit sa pastor at bagabag ang kanyang kalooban dahil sa mga nangyayaring krimen sa paligid. And she asked the pastor, sabi niya, "Pastor, sa dami po ng mga kriminalidad sa paligid, what do you think ang dapat gawin ng tao?" Saglit na tahimik ang paligid. And the pastor replied, "I think the best way we can get rid of criminals is to stop raising them." Yung sagot niya ay kakaiba. It's so profound, so poignant. But sa totoo lang, ang mga kriminal ngayon, gaano man sila kabihasa sa kanilang ginagawang karumal-dumal sa paligid at sa kapwa. There was a time sila yung mga naging bata. Lumaki sa piling ng mga magulang. Or at least lumaki sa piling ng mga guardian. At least, si maliit pa, meron silang kanalakihan. But sadly, they went wrong at nagdulot ng perwisyo sa mong paligid. Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Ito po ang iyong lingkod, Pastor Fred de Guzman ng Squad 244, ang life coach ng Philippine National Police Santa Maria, at nagagala po kami na makapiling kayo kasama ang aming mga kaibigan, kapatid sa kapulisan para mag-aral ng salita ng Diyos. Ito po yung Squad Weekly Interactive Meeting kung saan ang programa ng pamahalaan ay maitawid ang ating mga kapulisan sa biyaya ng kasulatan tungo sa ikapapanatag pa ng ating bayan. Tulungan nawa ng Diyos ang ating mga PNP personnel na lubusang makakilala kay Kristo mula sa pinakamababang ranggo hanggang sa pinakamataas towards sa pagiging mas professional at magagaling na mga tagapagbantay ng ating mamamayan. We are on our lesson, train up a child. And to raise a child is such a big challenge. Hindi lang sa mga people in uniform, pati sa ating lahat na nakikinig sa buong mundo. We have our plans, we have our desire, and we have our purpose, our dreams. Sa ating mga anak, walang hinangad tayong mga matitino ang kaisipan na masama para sa kanila. We want to realize what's in their heart sa ating mga anak. And all we need to do is to follow the guide. Sa pangunguna po ng aming mga kasama sa Squad 244, we welcome everyone. Wala po sa First Baptist Church ng San Mateo ng Sagaray, ang Jesus Christ Baptist Church ng Camarin, ganyan din po ang ating mga kapatiran sa Mindoro, sa buong Bulacan, at sa ibang panig ng bansa, ganyan din sa ibang panig ng mundo na nakikinig sa atin. Kasama po natin si Patrolman John Lloyd Lazaro, Police Staff Sergeant Mark Anthony Painor, Police Staff Sergeant Ryan Garcia, Police Staff Sergeant Adio Burgess, Police Master Sergeant Will Ray Guillermo, Police Senior Master Sergeant Joseph Aquino. Ating pong kasama si Ma'am Blenchi na katuwang ng ating squad. So, ito pong tatalakay natin ay importante sapagkat this might save a lot of lives and will help get rid of criminals. Proverbs 22 verse 6, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." So what does it take to train a child? What will it take to train your child and my child? Simulan natin sa Psalm 127, 3-5. And listen, ang mga anak ay mana na mula sa Panginoon at ang mga bunga ng bahay bata ay kanyang gantimpala. God gave you the reward. And that reward is your children. Kung paano ang mga pana sa kamay ng makapangyarihang lalaki, gayon ang anak ng kabataan. Maginhawa ang lalaki na pumuno ng kanyang lalagyan ng pana ng mga yaon, sila'y di mapapahiya pagka sila'y nakikipagsalitaan sa kanilang mga kaaway sa pintong bayan. Explain ko yan later. So consider your children as God's reward, blessing mula sa Panginoong Diyos. And we must value them as gift. Siyang dapat na itrato natin sila na napakahalagang bagay mula sa Panginoong Diyos. They should not be treated as a distraction, nuisance. They should not be treated as a punishment from God sa ating parusa. No. Lalo na, wag natin ituturong sila ay problema natin. No. The psalmist, yung sumulat ng awit, itunod sila sa mga pana which are made to shoot at the target. And in order for the arrow na abutin, tamaan ang bullseye, ang panang iyon, it must be made properly from a piece of wood. Anong klaseng pag-ayos muna ang gawin sa pana para magamit na maayos, tamaan ng bullseye? It must be shaped, it must be straightened, it must be sanded and smoothed and sharpened. So yung arrow, pag naayos na, naigayak, then place in a bow, aim sa target, and then you will release it. Most likely, it will hit the target. So the process is analogous as to how we parents, that we should nurture, empower, guide our kids as they grow, so that when you release them, they would hit the target. Children need to be trained. Ang ating mga anak ay nakasalalay sa ating pangangalaga. No matter how cute they are, no matter how pretty, ang kalampuso tulad natin at lang lahat ng tao sa mundo are able to create mischief. They are able to create pain and problem and terrorize kung papabayaan if they are left to themselves without discipline. Ang ating mga anak ay nakasalalay sa atin ang kanilang pagkakaroon ng maayos na buhay. Hindi po sila magiging maayos ang kinabukasan nila if they will be left to themselves. So tulungan tayo ng Diyos. Kaya nga tayo dapat mismo Kristiyano. Dapat tayo mismo ay mananampalataya. Dapat tayo mismo ay may pagkatakot sa Panginoon. Tayo mismo ay may pagkakilala kay Kristo bilang tagapagligtas. Sapagat ang pagpapalaki sa anak ay hindi basta. Huwag niyong ipagkatiwala sa ibang kamay ang sa kanila ay ang kanilang kinabukasan. Isang African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. So maraming tao ang pwede maka-influensya sa ating mga anak as they are on their training process. Family, friends, teachers, church leaders, community members. Pero pangunahin, tayong magulang are the ultimate responsible for our kids. Especially, lalo na ang tatay na dapat dinidisiplina. I mean, maayos na pagpapalaki sa kanya anak. Proverbs 22:15, ang kamangmangan ay nababalot sa puso ng bata, ngunit ilalayo sa kanya ng pamalong pangsaway. Ilagay sa lugar ang pagdidisiplina. Kailangan may pamalo kung kinakailangan. Ephesians 6:4, kayong mga ama, huwag ninyong ipamungkahi sa galit ang inyong mga anak, kundi inyong turuan sila ayon sa saway at aral ng Panginoon. So whenever we try to discipline our kids, make sure it is based on what the Bible says. You train your children to love, to obey, to please God over and above, and to honor Him the same way that we teach them to love, obey, and please and honor us parents. The best way to do this, at hindi yung magtatagal, matututunan ng ating mga anak ang tamang pagpapalaki, is through our example. Deuteronomy 6 verse 7, iyong ituturo ng buong sikap sa iyong anak at sasalitain mo sa kanila pagka ikay nakaupo sa iyong bahay, pagka ikay lumalakad sa daan, pagka ikaw ay nahihiga at ikay bumabangon. So itong salita ng Diyos, yung Bible, yung prinsipyo ng kasulatan, yung salita ni Kristo, you should teach them and tell them again and again. Let them hear the word, especially Let them see how we apply yung turong yan sa ating buhay. Ini-apply sa ating pagkatao. You talk to them when you are at home, and you talk to them when you are on the road, kasama sila marahil. And hindi man binabanggit yung eksaktong talata, at least the principle behind the words, even when you're going to bed, or when you are getting up. Lalo yung mga lilit pa natin mga anak. Ephesians 6:1 and following, mga anak, magsitalima kayo sa inyong mga magulang sa Panginoon. In the same token, the kids will be able to obey pag naman nakita nila yung ating pangunguna nasa ayos. So, sabi ng Bible, sapagkat ito'y matuwid, pag nagsitalima ang mga anak sa magulang, ito'y matuwid. Ito po ay kalugod-lugod sa Diyos. Wika ng talata, igalang mo ang iyong ama, ang iyong ina, na sa unang utos na may pangako, upang yumaon kang mabuti at ikay mabuhay na matagal sa lupa. Pag ang bata natutong gumalang, respeto, at disiplinado, lalawig ang buhay na sa lupa. You are, parents, embarking on the most interesting journey of life. And that journey is the discovering of your child. Kailangan maintindihan natin that it's a kind of journey. Napakagandang paglalakbay sa buhay ng ating mga anak ay makita natin at ma-develop natin sila. Your child may be yours by birth or palaki mo or apo mo na or nephew, sino man yung inaalagaan mo o nasa iyong custody na bata, the one who lives with you, this or that person, that boy or that girl, that one of a kind, amazing person whom God has placed sa iyong custody to nurture and to guide ay iyong anak. Their hearts are so tender. Lalo mga maliliit na bata, pure, whose minds hums like a power plant. Maraming imagination, ang daming curiosity. Ang personality niya sparkles with laughter and joy, and parang walang problema lagi. And most of the time, they bidudulot ng release ng ating stress ang mga batang yan. Pag nakikita natin, they are like a many-sided diamond. Pahalaga natin. Our task is to explore the hidden universe that lies in your child. Tulungan natin sila to unlock the secret. And then release your child to be mature. Kasi ma-sharpen, ma-sanden, and then strengthen, you will be able to release them tulad ng isang pana. Confident adult that God intended him or her to become. Along the way, ng pag-discover natin sa ating mga anak, that's why we try to train them, you will discover another surprising discovery. As you discover them, you will discover yourself, ang ating sarili. The pastor said, it wasn't until we began to have kids that I fully began to understand how I am put together. So as you reveal to your child the wonders of who he is or who she is, God will do the same for you. You will discover how unique you are as a person. And as a parent, God will parent us. Hindi pababayaan ng Diyos kayo na nagmamalasakit sa anak. God will take care of you. God will encourage you to blossom tulad din sa bulaklak. As you train and raise your children alongside. So with God's help, you can grow and will grow alongside with your children. Proverbs 22:6 is probably one of the best known verses sa Bible. But sometimes it's somehow misunderstood ng ilan. Akala nila, okay na raw yung ganitong gawin. Simba lang na simba. Teach them how to obey, to say opo na opo, just follow 10 commandments, teach them to pray before meal, teach them to pray before going to bed, teach them to read the Bible. So, akala ganun lang. That you do this early at their age, and then teach them not to become rebellious and kung mahaligaw mo sila at natuturuan mo naman lumaki sa church, pag napawag niya, babalik din yan. Sana ganun lang kadali. Hindi ganun kasimple lang ang sinasabi ng talata ng 22:6 ng Proverbs. Yung sinasabi nilang ganong paniniwala na simpleng-simple lang, it fails to appreciate the colorful and the intricate word picture na sinasabi ng Bible sa Proverbs 22:6. Secondly, iba-iba ang nangyayari sa mga kabataan. Some rebelled at di na nakabalik. Some have ended up killing themselves at sinasahan na magsisisi, hindi na nagawa. Another suggests that parents have two options to present sa kanilang mga anak. The righteous or wise path, or the destructive or the path of the foolish. Send them the righteous road, and then they will enjoy a long, righteous life. Pero alam nyo, I think this is just proper. Himayin natin saglit ang train up a child in the way they should go. Na Proverbs 22:6. Again, first, train up. It means to set them apart, to sanctify. Yung pakabanalin, how can we do that? It's used 4 times in the Old Testament and 3 times when they use the word train up, it has a reference to a dedicating a building. So ibig sabihin, once a child has been brought up sa inyong pamilya, nagkaroon kayo ng anak na yan, you should decide kayong mag-asawa, ihahandog siya sa Panginoon that this child, Lord, is yours. Ipinagkatiwala mo sa amin. Gagabayan namin ito, hindi mo ito hayaang makakita na masamang halimbawa sa amin. They will never see alak, bisyo sa bahay na nakikita sa mga magulang. They will not hear words na foul, na gagayahin nila pagdating ng araw. They will not go to places na pinupunta namin na masama. So you will make it a point ng ating anak ay hindi makakakita na ikapapahamak niya. Hindi tutungo sa landas na ikasisira na kanyang buhay. That's part of the training up a child. Sa isang Arabic culture, as I have learned, ang mga midwife na nagpaanak ng baby na hindi pa sanay, of course, dumede sa kanilang nanay, dahil medyo hirap pa, ang gagawin ng kumadrona, malinis sa kamay, ididip niya kanyang daliri sa mashed na dates or kind of fruits, and then ipapahin niya yung kanyang daliri sa bibig ng bata until the child would learn to suck the finger, and then dadali niya sa dibdib ng kanyang nanay. Meaning she stimulates the gums in order to encourage the kind of behavior that would benefit the child. She wisely and skillfully utilizes the baby's natural instinct to guide the baby kung ano ang dapat niyang gawin. And then, the mother will nurse her or him. So the best parental training is to accomplish when we go for inspiration instead of coercion. May our kids be inspired to obey us and to be trained by us. Hindi dahil sila ay may nakaumang na pamalo ka o may nakaumang kang gulok saka sila susunod. They would be inspired, not coerced. So we do this by discovering the child's natural desires, unique abilities na meron sila, by encouraging the behavior na meron sila that will allow him or her to develop accordingly. So this is not to say, again, don't get me wrong, napapayagan lang natin ang ating mga anak na gawin anumang bagay as they please, and they would avoid correction. No. To train refers to ideas of dedicating, set apart siya sa gawa ng mundo, gawa ng kasamaan, and make them submissive sa patakaran ng Diyos. Ibig sabihin, andun ang guidance, andun ang pangunguna. So train up a child, sabi ng sumunod, in the way they should go. It means in accordance with his way or inclinations. The verse says, it suggests 2 ways that a person can go. The way of the wise or the way of the fool. Let me give you another verse. Proverbs 30:18 and 19. It says, there be 3 things which are too wonderful for me. Sabi ng sumulat. The way of an eagle in the air. Nakakamangha nga naman ang ways of an eagle as they fly. The way of a serpent upon the rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. So the term way refers to a characteristic manner. So, ang ibig sabihin natin, we are to train a child according to her characteristic manner. How does an eagle fly in the sky? How does a ship sail in on the sea? And how does the snake behave upon the rock? So some will be artistic, some will be athletic, others will have academic excellence. One may be strong-willed compared to another. One can be encouraged by rewards or recognition, while another can't, they couldn't care less. So training up calls for a relationship kung saan ang tayo mga magulang and the child would dedicate themselves to a shared purpose. Alam ng batang rason, alam mo ang gagawin mo, alam mo ipagagawa mo with all the privileges, responsibilities that go along with it. So the parents find ways to encourage behavior that makes our kids happy, our child happy, satisfied, meeting the deepest need, masaya siyang nabubuhay, nakasama tayo bilang magulang, happily enjoying the training na ginagawa natin. It involves guiding a wild spirit to give it the purpose and proper direction. So we receive a child from the hand of God, hindi lang isang tila malleable na lump of flesh na you would mold them according to only what you want, hindi sa kalooban ng Diyos, no. But we receive the child knowing that God entrusted the child to us. With God's help, we will mold them in the way they should go. We are to honor God's creation of this one-of-a-kind individual, training them in a characteristic manner. And to fight it is to fight God's creation. So we have kids, you have children, lalim ang maliliit pa. Sabihin natin, Lord, salamat po for giving me this child. I will train this according to your will. So, to study how to develop this kind of behavior, makaka-develop tayo ng intimate relationship with our children. So, help each child to discover his or her road. The path na nais niyang tahakin, you will be able to see as you train them according to God's way. Then ask God to help you to make the most of your child's natural tendencies. Anong meron siyang inclination na gusto niya gawin? So, when maturity comes, yung success nila will be a legacy. And it will be a joyful time kasama ka. So again, Proverbs 22:6, train up a child. Not teach up a child. You train up a child. It involves more than teaching. It involves discipline. It involves your whole time. You train them, that means we are to mold them, shaping them by discipline and practice. Again, let me give you some suggestion. How do we do that? Love them. Love your kids. Some think yung ating pagmamahal would spell like M-O-N-E-Y. Pag nabigyan mo na sila ng pera, okay na. Pag nabigyan mo lahat ng gusto nila, okay na. You're spoiling them and you're destroying them. I think you should spell love by T-I-M-E. That's the best. We show them when we tell them that we love them. Over and over, tell your kids that you love them. Hindi po corny. To tell your family, your wife, your kids that you love them. Kids need your touch. Kids needed to be embraced. They need hug. Lalo yung mga maliit na mga bata. When you walk past them, a tap on the shoulder and over their shoulder, giving them your love and telling them how you pray for them, napalaking bagay. Ang daming nalululong sa drugs. Niyayakap nila ang bawal na gamot. Napapariwara sila because they felt love. Pero tayo dapat magbigay. Love your children. Secondly, lift your children. Encourage them. Colossians 3:21, mga ama, huwag niyo ipamungkay sa galit ang inyong mga anak upang huwag manghina ang loob nila. Never discourage them. Never, never put them down. Lift them up. Lift them up. An important distinction between praising and encouraging. Praising a child tends to focus on performance. Encouraging them focuses on their worth. So both should be done. Encourage them, tells them that he or she is valuable. When you give them time, when you pinapahalaga natin ang kanilang magawa, it will really bless their heart. Limit. Let them know there are limits. Kahit pa paano. Children will tell you they don't want limit. The way they behave, ayaw nila ng kinokontrol. They don't believe mga limit na ginagawa natin o limitations. Mga kapatid, if you don't set limits sa child, unconsciously, they will feel rejected. Lalong pakialam sa akin yung nanay ko, yung tatay ko. Unconsciously, they will do what they want. Okay lang sa kanila yan. Kasi they thought, di mo na pagagalitan eh. Even in the Garden of Eden, God set limits not to dampen the spirits of Adam and Eve, but to show His wise provision for all na kailangan nila during that time. And keep in mind, the children will push against limits. If you give them in, then the boundary collapses. Security is lost. Huwag niya hayaan na sagarin nila. They would cross the line. So giving children limits, help them learn that the world has consequences. Pag hindi sila natuto ng disiplina na meron dapat boundary, that they don't have to cross the line, or else, mapapamak sila. Pag naintindihan yun, bigo tayo, bigo sila. Talo tayo pareho. Fourthly, lead your children. Some parents don't do what I say, but do what I say. Yun na madalas. Basta gawin sa sabi ko kung gawin ginagawa ko. That's wrong. That's double talk. Do not allow your kids na sumasagot-sagot ng wala sa lugar. Matuto sila sa isang sutsot o matuto sila makuha sa tingin. And when they do that, nilalapastangan nila kayo, pinapayagan nila lang, they're crossing the line. Sometimes, you should be lenient, but wag nyo kakalimutan, they should know the boundary. Laugh with your children. Have fun with them. Our home ought to be the happiest place sa lupa. It should be the place where all other kids want to hang out with your kids. Kumbaga, hindi mo muli, welcome sila lahat dito, pinapupunta lagi-lagi. At sasabi ko lang, it should be a home kung saan masaya-masaya sila, nakapiling ang inyong anak kasi they felt enjoyment and fun and laughter. Na sa team kasama yung mga bata, kasama anak ninyo, they would tell you, ang ganda naman, bait-bait ng mga magulang mo, ang ganda naman dito sa inyo, masaya ang pamilya ninyo. Let your house ring with laughter. Proverbs 17:22, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. Kapag ka ang puso mo ay masayahin, you will be like the effect of medicine sa mga tao. When you have that merry heart, a cheerful countenance, you will become like the effect of the medicine. Pero pag matigas ang puso mo, malayo ka sa Panginoon, wala kang pinapakialaman na bagay na kabutihan para sa anak mo, pinababayan mo lang siya, you will be like the medicine, the taste. Medicine has the bitter taste. But pag ito ay na-appropriate sa ating buhay, it will give you good effect. So, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. Be like the effect, it would give you healing. So, what's like sa inyong tahanan? What do your neighbors say when they see you? Or ano masasabi ng mga kapitbahay nyo when they hear about your name? May they see Christ in each one of us, members of the family. May God is real in and out of our house. At pagka nabanggit nila pangalan natin, napapag-usapan tayo, it would put smile sa kanilang mga labi. Because you are a blessing. Hindi lang sa kanila, of course, higit sa lahat sa mga anak. You train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. May God help us and give you peace. You stay safe. Until next time. God bless you all. Salamat po.